Thank you so much, Chemain, for coming. I've been so looking forward to meeting you. And what an interesting organisation that you work for. Do you want to tell me a little bit about Humanity United?
Yes, I'd love to. So Humanity United is a philanthropic organization that represents the human rights interests of Pierre and Pam Omidyar. And Pierre Omidyar is the founder of eBay. They've been philanthropically involved in many different areas, and we particularly started the organization. It was funded to really advance human rights and labor rights, and I joined them recently in an impact investing initiative that they've launched, where we're looking to invest in supply chain technology solutions to make the supply chain more efficient and more transparent.
I have a lot of admiration for him. I'm a Tibetan Buddhist, and he actually funded His Holiness's, the Dalai Lama's trip a couple of years ago. So I think the world of him, and that's fantastic. What a great mission to be involved in. I mean, I think, isn't it better to have a mission as well as a job?
It absolutely is. It's something that you have to feel really passionately tied to every day to wake up, and I feel so blessed to have come across this opportunity where it kind of merges my background in venture capital, but with a mission and a social change imperative that I think is really important dialogue to have, and particularly in this day and age. And it's an incredible organization.
So tell me what you like to invest in and what you're really passionate about.
Yeah, so we invest in early to Series A companies, and personally I'm really passionate about working with great funding teams, really backing entrepreneurs that see a broader vision of how they can, it sounds a little bit cheesy, but how they can change the world and how we can use technology to do that. So I think that we have a great mandate at Humanity United where our impact-first orientation puts us in an enviable place where we can really help promote a different social agenda than traditional venture capitalists. And we also have a great portfolio to be able to tie into different types of financing options for companies that may have come from a more traditional nonprofit background or be for-profit entities, where we can use creative financing structures to help them get there.
And is there a story behind who you are and how you got involved in both Humanity United and in the investing that you get involved in?
Well, I'd say personally, so my father is an entrepreneur. He was a startup person who had been involved in computer engineering his whole life, and kind of instilled in me at a really early age just a love of building businesses. And that kind of spawned a lot of my interest in investing in early stage companies and working with great entrepreneurs. And that really just shaped who I was as an individual. I got a great opportunity to see early on how you can use technology to change people's lives. And
wonderful example of creativity through your father, I would imagine.
Yes, yeah. He was one of the first people to innovate the 24-hour workday and did outsourcing to India before that was really a thing in information technology. And so seeing that and seeing how entrepreneurs just really like the grind that it takes every day to wake up and make it successful, and how relentless you have to be in pursuing that vision. It was just a really fantastic early opportunity to learn about what it really takes to be successful.
That's so nice. And tell me, do you have I usually ask the investors if they have an interesting story to tell about being an investor. Do you have something that you'd like to share?
Yes, I'm glad you warned me about this question earlier. But yeah, I guess what jumps to mind as a funny story to share was we had early in my career, I'd been going to India looking at companies to invest or buy, and went with a group of investors that included a team from Mellon Ventures and Sequoia who'd invested in our company. And after a long, 2 weeks of scouting companies and listening to a lot of pitch events in India, I had sort of a moment to blow off some steam and went to a Bollywood-themed dance-off. And to this day, I think everybody maybe had one too many cocktails, and to this day was one of the most hilarious and bonding experiences I've had with a group of investors, and something that like you share that moment, luckily not documented on Facebook or YouTube, and you never kind of come back from it. So,
but still, it's something about the spirit of something like that, of throwing yourself into that dance and all becoming sort of one and not worrying about the egos, I would imagine would be really amazing.
Yes, that encapsulates it perfectly. And I think like you have to be willing to kind of take that risk and be a little bit, be willing to make yourself a bit of a fool. And that resonates to like that risk-taking attitude to all parts of life that, I really see making people successful.
That's really cool. They should have like something for every venture capital firm when they go on their retreats, that they all have to do something like that.
I agree. Like something that's wildly outside of your comfort zone that, just kind of makes everybody, it gets you close really quickly. It makes you bond.
And I think too, it gets you in touch with the bigger picture as well, like the sense of spirit with,
And being able to travel internationally really just changes everybody's perspective, and having that trip together where we're out in the field, really you bring that back to your work and created just a bond of a common purpose and a common vision for where we wanted to go that I think wouldn't have happened as organically.
Thank you so much. That's so interesting. And I'm really looking forward to the chat tonight.
I'm delighted. Thank you for having me. It's my pleasure.